So when we lived in Maryland, we had the Disney soundtrack from a bunch of different songs, and the Beauty and the Beast song would always come on. And whenever that would come up, we would always dance to it together. And he would always pick me in the air and spin me around at the really dramatic parts, and it was really fun. That's one of my favorite memories of us spending time together and just having fun. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you.
The Soccer World Cup in 2010, there was a game at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we both love soccer, me and my dad, so we both got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and watched the soccer game together. That was fun and tiring. Well, happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you.
One of my favorite things about my dad is how he always tries to tell me how my day was and ask me questions to get to know me better. And he always teaches me about hard work and honesty and the value of that. And I love you. Happy Father's Day.
The thing about my dad is that he is such an example to our family of hard work and selflessness, because he always is willing to sacrifice everything for our family and our happiness. And I know he works so hard for our family, and he's such a good example of kindness to our family when we're being super annoying, but it's okay. And he such an example of respect to my mom, and he's kind of what the example, what I want to look for in a guy. And so thank you for that, and happy Father's Day. I love you.
The thing about my dad is how energetic he is, how he's always wanting to do the new and the latest, and he's so hip and cool, and how all my friends love him, and they probably want to go hang out with him instead of me, but more friends for me. They all just... Anyways, I love how outgoing he is, and it makes me want to be outgoing, and it makes me want to do my best and be an energetic person, and I just wanted to say Happy Father's Day, and I love you.
What I love about my dad the most is that how fun he is to hang out with, and that he's always making jokes and doing just this weird stuff that no one really gets. But it's really fun to hang out with him because of what he does and how nice and kind he is, and just he's an awesome person all in all. I love you, Dad. Happy Father's Day.
My favorite memory of my dad was when I think I was 10 or 11. We were gonna go visit my uncle and my cousin in San Diego, so we got up really early and we took a train ride, and he got all my favorite snacks, and we just hung out and listened to music, and that was fun. And it was fun because he's really fun to be around, and he's a really big dork. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you so much.
One thing that I like about my dad is how he always tries to cheer me up when I'm feeling down, and how he always wants to jump on the train with me and make me happy throughout the whole day. Happy Father's Day, Papa. I love you.
My favorite memory of me and my dad is probably when we went back to Virginia, and we had a 5-hour plane ride, and then when we got there, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, so he took me out to IHOP, even though he doesn't really like IHOP, but he took me anyway. And then we stayed at a hotel and stayed in Virginia for a week, and just helped me get closer to my dad. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you.
So growing up, I was always a really big daddy's girl. I did everything with my dad. I did everything my dad did. When I grew up, I wanted to be just like him. Really was into science because he was a scientist, and it was really cool. And so I've always wanted to be like my dad because I always thought he was really smart, and he was just really, really ambitious, and I've always tried to strive and be like that. And my dad and I have done so many things together, and it's just been one of those bonding moments because we're so similar that sometimes we get on each other's nerves, but we always come around and always have fun together. And I really love you, Daddy. Happy Father's Day.
A memory of my dad is when I was really little. He was reffing this young men's stake basketball game or something. I don't know exactly what it was, so I was really little and don't remember it very well. But he let me wear one of the ref jerseys, and it was so long that it went past my knees. And and he let me blow the whistle, even though I had no idea why I was blowing it. He just kind of like pointed at me and was like, "Katie, don't blow the whistle." And so I'd blow the whistle. It probably didn't sound very good. Probably go full spit. But happy Father's Day. I love you, Dad. You're funny.
Okay, so I'm a lot like my dad, and I love it so very much. One of my favorite things with him is that we could always just play sports or have competitions. He is one of the easiest people to have a competition with. Sometimes he wins, and most of the time he loses. So yeah. And I love how we could always just like play sports, and that he's always there, and that we're always able to talk about something and just have a lot of fun together. I love you, Dad, so much. You're the best in the whole world. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, so I love my dad because he's always willing to answer all my really weird questions. Like, he doesn't care what it is, he answers them. Even if he goes on like really long tangents, he answers my questions, and he's taught me so much over all these years, and I love him so much. Happy Father's Day.
Okay, my dad, he knows so much about everything, and he just helps me with whatever I need, even when I don't ask for it. So thank you, Dad. I love you. Happy Father's Day too.
One thing that my dad did was always reading to me in the hallway before I would fall asleep, and it would always help me fall asleep at night. Happy Father's Day. I love you, Dad.
A few things I like about my dad is that he helps me with my algebra homework because it's a really difficult subject for me, and I really appreciate his help. Another thing is he takes me horseback riding through all the really beautiful canyons, and I really like that about him. So happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you.
A few things I love about my dad is that he's always talking, like he always tells me great stories, like he knows everything, but probably doesn't, but it's still nice to hear all that from him. And he's always really dedicated, and he loves the church, which I admire very greatly. And I'm just so grateful that he's my dad, and I love him very much. Happy Father's Day.
My favorite thing about my dad, or a memory, was when we were little, we would get on his feet. He'd put his feet on we would lay down on his feet, and he would flip us over his head on the ground. It was fun. So, happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you.
My dad is how he takes the time to get to know each of the kids in our family. And I love when we go to see my older sister Terry, and he is such a good friend to Bailey and Hazel, and he always spends time with them and makes them laugh. And I love to watch him with little kids. Happy Father's Day, I love you.
I like how my dad always makes breakfast on Sunday mornings, then we can eat as a family. TY Dad. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Love you.